Hey, guten Morgen, Kinder. Ich bin Trick. I'm back again to see you all. It's been a long, long time. I missed seeing all of you. I see you come in here every once in a while, but the Amish Bishop is not always here, and I really miss you all. So anyway, I thought that I would come and show my face a little bit. We still need to go get that Russian guy, and we will one of these days, we will go get him, and we will do something. I'm not sure what. But this morning, I'm gonna tell you a joke. Yeah, this is an Amish joke. It's kind of funny. Your mom might not think it's very funny, but I think it's pretty funny. So anyway, this Amish man and his little boy, they never been to town before, especially a big city town. And they went to New York City one day, and they went into the big buildings there, and the big stories buildings, they have 20-some stories going up. And how are you going to get up there? Well, they have elevators, right? Well, this Amish man, this Amish bishop, they never seen the elevators before. So this Amish man, his little boy, they were in the building, and they walk up to the wall, and the wall opens up, like it does. It opens up, and there's a little room there, and then the walls close again. So they're perplexed by this, and the little boy said, "Daddy, what is that? What is that?" And the dad said, he doesn't know. He's never seen anything like it before. But as they were watching this thing, the doors open up, and an old lady on a wheelchair, and she was old, she wheels into that room, and the door's shut. And they watch the numbers go, and it goes from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 and all the way up to 20. And then it comes back down all the way to 1 again, and the doors open up, and out walks this young, beautiful lady. The dad's eyes got big. He said, "Son, go get your mother." Hey, good morning. Here I am again teaching, ready to do your math class today. So Caitlin and Jerica, wake up, pay attention, get your breakfast, and hopefully you're chipper and ready to go. Lesson 8 on page 32, graphing linear equations. So in your math, you will always have a chart like this, okay? And it's just going to give you something like that. It's going to be X and a Y. Okay, so they're always going to give you a chart like that, a table, and they're always going to give you an equation. The first equation they're going to give you on page 32 and 33 is like this: Y equals X plus 2. Okay, and so in this case, they will always give you the X value. But on page 33, notice you have start with a 0, 1, 2, and 3. I guess they just have 4. So what you always start with when you want to try to find out the Y value, you always start with this equation that they give you, and you replace the X with what they say is an X. So for example, the first X value is a 0. So you go Y equals 0 plus 2, right? Because the X is a 0, and then so there is nothing there, so you know that Y equals 0. Or I'm sorry, Y equals 2. I can't even do math. I better go join the Amish. Y equals 2. So what if X is a 1? Well, then you go Y equals 1 plus 2, because the equation is always the same. Remember, Y equals X plus 2. Always start with the equation first, and then replace the X with what they tell you to replace it with. So in this case, y equals 3. Okay, the next one, y equals x plus 2. That's what we start with. Now replace it with a 2. Y equals 2 plus 2. And that makes 4, right? Y equals 4. And so on you go. So y equals x plus 2. One more. We're going to replace it with a 3. So y equals 3 plus 2. So y equals 5. So now you've got a set of numbers. Okay? So in other words, you have 0, 2. You have 1, 3, 2, 4, 3, 5. And this is your x value. This is your y value. And then you can now graph that on a graph. Okay? Just go over. Remember, the x is always going across on a graph. So you always go over 0, go up 2. Go over 1, go up 3. Go over 2, go up 4. Go over 3, go up 5. And you'll have your graph, and always draw your arrows, or draw your line connecting the dots. But look at this, you can see that you have arrows on both sides of this line. That means it shows that it's going to go continue indefinitely, infinitely on either side, either way. So if you go to page 34, I will help you get started with this one. We'll do a couple on the first one. They did the first two. If you notice, so they started with an x plus y equals 6, right? Okay, so in their graph, you have the x value and the y value. Okay, and they're going to give you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so in this case, we had to figure out what the y value is going to be. And so notice the first thing you do is write your expression out. The equation, x plus y equals 6. Replace the 1 where the x is. So now we're going to go 1 plus y equals 6. And to solve it for y, we have to take a 1 here, take away 1 here, and we have y equals 5. Okay? So you know that's going to be 1, 5. So the next one, and you have to write your equations out every time when you start. So x plus y equals 6. This is the second one. This was the first one. And this time we're going to replace it with a 2. So x is a 2 plus y equals 6. So again, take away 2, take away 2. You have y equals 4. Okay, and this is a set of numbers, 1, 5, 2, 4. So I'll do one more for you, and then I'm going to let you do the rest on your own. Starting with the equation they give you, replace the x with a 3. Okay, now solve. Take away 3, take away 3. You have y equals 6 minus 3 is 3. And notice, as these numbers get bigger, these get smaller. And so when you're done with that now, you will have a set of numbers that you can actually graph on your grid. Like go over 1, up 5, go over 2, up 4, over 3, up 3, and put dots there. And when you're done with, connect all the dots with a ruler, and you'll have it done. Now I'm going to go to number 2. This a little bit more involved, but let's just look at number 2. Okay, so the equation they give you is 2 times x minus 1 equals y. Okay, then over here they give you your x and your y. All right, and they give you 4 numbers, right? So they have 1, 2, 3, and 4. So let's look at the very first one. If it's a 1, if x is a 1, we replace it in them. This says 2 times x, so this is how you write it. Okay? You go 2 times 1, because we said the x is a 1. So it's 2 times 1 minus 1 equals y. Now remember, in an equation, you always do the multiplication first. Okay? So we're going to go 2 times 1, which is 2, minus 1 equals y. And what is 2 minus 1? It's 1. So 1 equals y. Okay? And that's how you do that one. I'll do the next one for you. What if it's a 2? So start with your equation, 2 times x, negative 1 equals y. Now replace that x with a 2. So we're going to go 2 times 2 minus 1 equals y. Always do the multiplication first. So it's 4 minus 1 equals y. And what is 4 minus 1? 3 equals y. Okay, so if x is a 2, then y has to be a 3. And you go down and you do this equation for every one of those till you have it all solved, and then you can fill in your grid. Okay? I hope that makes sense. If you have, again, like always again, if you have questions, don't be afraid to call me or text me or something, and I'll help you with that. Okay? I hope you all have a good day.